First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. All right, and here's an article from ZeroHedge.com. As I was going through these articles, I found this one pretty interesting. And it says thousands of sex crime suspects released unconditionally. And it says the British police released as many as 12,000 suspected sex offenders back into their communities without setting any bail conditions to protect victims and the general public in the year to March 2021 data from the Home Office shows. It says an additional 55,207 individuals arrested for violent offenses were also released under investigation across England and Wales during that period. According to the newly revealed figures, in all, the police released around 147,334 arrested suspects through the RUI route. This accounted for more than a third, which is 35%, they put here, of all arrests made over the year. And there was an interesting part right here that says, for victims of domestic abuse or stalking, it is particularly traumatic to know that the suspect has been released without any conditions at all. And you got to think about it, right? Because here it is, if you were a victim at the hands of one of these suspects, and for some victims it's harder for them to come out and say something, but let's say something was finally done about it, and this guy's in jail, and now you hear that they released him, and now, you all messed up because you don't know at any point. Because if this was somebody that was like stalking you or, something of that sort, he just might come right back to it. Knowing that in his mind, he might have the thought, Slocky, he might have the thought of, well, even if they do catch me again, they just might release me again, like a catch and release, which in LA, that's what they're doing with people who are basically committing like petty crimes and theft and so on and so forth, right? So now, with all that in mind, Slovakia. All right. With all that in mind, keep in mind that they're talking about these extremists targeting the power grid, right? And they're talking about potential for Russia to launch a cyber attack, and pretty much they're foreshadowing the this next thing to come as something electrical, something dealing with lights out situation, or systems being shut down or things of that sort, which can cause a lot of chaos because during the sicky wiki situation that's been going on, a lot of things have been shifted to online. So a lot of functions in society are heavily dependent on electricity and electronics and certain digital systems. So if they, set something up to where the digital world is affected, that's going to throw the physical world into a lot of turmoil, a lot of chaos, a lot of turmoil, and a lot of people are not ready for that. So now, say you have a situation like that, and now you got thousands of sex crime suspects, you got violent crime suspects, all just released. So you're in a situation where pretty much lights are out, things are not looking too good, but the people that are mingled amongst you are people of this nature, and to them it's going to be a free for all. So I was reading this and I was like, man, hey, Lord is really going to turn things up. So a lot of those people that are in prison right now, they're not going to be in there for much longer, because when this shit starts going down, they're going to be released, and they're going to be running around in these streets, and they're going to be doing whatever the hell they want to do, because the condition is going to allow it. And in that time, people will not play fair. You know, people will not play fair. They're not gonna listen to your words. It's not gonna no. It's gonna be like the saying, survival of the fittest. So people, it says that in the book of Second Ezra 15, that the course of their action shall stand in their power. They're gonna do after their pleasures. They're gonna do whatever they want to do. And if you can't fend for yourself or fight for yourself, you're gonna be in a very bad position. Now that's why over here we put our trust and our faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because we understand that the man's goings are of the Lord. So these, if somebody attacks you or targets you to do something evil to you, that's the Lord through his angels that put that thought into that person's mind, and that allowed it to be possible for that person's thoughts or plans to be fulfilled successfully. See? Now it says, let's see. You know what? I think that's pretty much what I wanted to read on here. So let me get a few precepts on this. Because you have a lot of things that are going on, a lot of foreshadowing, and eventually something is going to happen. So this is at the book of Isaiah chapter 32. I'm actually going to read verse 2 and then jump down. It says, "And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land." Yeah, because when this thing goes down, a lot of the as they call them, predators or attackers are going to be men. And who are they going to be coming after? They're going to come after certain other men, but they're going to really be coming after a lot of these women. Okay? So you need, a lot of these people are going to need a defense. And the defense is going to be Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, but he's going to set up, certain men, and certain particular events via divine intervention to protect his elect. Okay? But dealing on a human to human interaction level, a lot of these people that are in these prisons, man, they're of a different mindset. Okay, they're of a different mindset, and they have nothing but time to think, to plan, to work out, to plot, to harness that hatred they may have towards whoever got them in there, or whatever the case is. Now, not too long ago, there was that video of that individual who, I believe, he killed his ex-wife and his girlfriend, who one of them was pregnant, and then he shot himself. Okay, because he had pretty much had enough. All right, he's just been tired of it. See, so that's why a man is gonna be as in hiding place from the wind. There was also a video of I think 3 attackers that tried to break into a man's house, and the man fought him off. Now he had his, I think, his woman in the house. Now can you imagine what would have happened if it was just a woman at home? But yet today you got a lot of women that speak as though, in my house I want to do this. Now well, you living in my house, you get the F out, right? Okay, so he gets the F out, and then now you got like maybe 2 or 3 attackers that are trying to come into your house. You're gonna wish you have somebody to defend you then, because you cannot fight them off. All right, and like I read in this article, you got a lot of these sex crime suspects. Okay, as they label them in this society. So you got a lot of people that are, sexually assaulting, right? And in that time, they're gonna be running around loose, and people are not gonna stop trying. They're trying to survive so they can come and save you. You're gonna have situations where you may be asking for help, and somebody may be right there, but they may just run away. And whoever it is that got their hands on you, if the Lord doesn't have mercy on you, they're gonna have their way with you. That's why in Isaiah 32:9 it says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease," because a lot of these people and the things, when people commit certain crimes or they just wild out, it's a spirit the Lord puts on them to do it. And this time the Lord said he's going to send that spirit out on a lot of people. So it's going to be very, very devastating out here for a lot of people. And as we read in the article, they said that it was traumatic for some people, knowing that their suspects, their attackers, are have been released. But that's nothing compared to what's going to be going on now, all right, in the very near future. Isaiah 32:9 says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come." Verse 11, "Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones." And that's the conduct of a lot of women today. They're careless. They move without a care in the world. They think they got it all. They think nothing can touch them. But the Lord is only, your joy is going to be but for a moment, and reality is going to set in. And it says here, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. All right. And sackcloth was pretty much representation of mourning. You wore sackcloth when you were in a state of mourning, and sackcloth wasn't it didn't feel good on your skin. It was rough. It was like rough. I think it was made of goat's hair, so it would irritate your skin. But it was necessary because it would add on to the mourning. Okay, and that's what the Lord is saying by the mouth of Isaiah, because it's gonna get bad out here. And in 9 times out of not 10 times out of 10 in chaotic situations, women become victims. Okay. Now this is the book of Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 5. It says, and to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city. Because what's going on, it's not going to be just um, women that are getting got. You're going to have a lot of men that are also going to become victims. All right. Men can get raped. Men can get killed. So that's why ultimately, on a base carnal level, we tell you that as a woman you got to be careful, because if a dude comes after you, that's not a good situation for you. But on an overall level, we're all gonna need that defense of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, because judgment is not gonna be just on women; it's gonna be on men as well. And at that point, there ain't nothing that's going. The only one you can get to fight for you is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, you got a woman that needs a man. A man can fight off a man, but how do you fight? How can a man fight off judgment? The only way is through exemption from the Lord, the same one who's bringing the judgment. See, so that's why it's very important to do what is pleasing to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, to know those names, to have faith in those names. Okay, because this is what's coming, and it's gonna be brutal. And it says here, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women. And a lot of these women and maids and old and young, and they are going to get slain. But before that, these people are going to take advantage of them. So you got to be careful out here in these streets, man, because you never know who you could be walking past. And that's why here it is. You may try to give advice. You may try to warn these women, saying, yo, watch the way you're dressing and all that. And now, yeah, well, I dress how I want to dress. Guess what? You wearing these tight ass tights, yoga pants, all this shit, exposing yourself, right? And you walking past somebody that you don't know, might be somebody who has a history of sex offense, right? Somebody who has a history of sexual assault, and you walk past him, and then you catch his attention, and now he follows your ass home, right? He becomes like a Joe on steroids, and that's from the Netflix TV show called You, You, You. And if you've watched that, you know who I'm talking about. Okay, so this is a part of it. We warn you, because you never know who you're walking past. You never know. Hey, just not too long ago, you had that individual that pushed that lady onto the train, the subway train tracks, which really was the judgment of the Lord anyway. But at any point, the Lord can put the Spirit on somebody to carry out judgment on somebody else. And that is why you have to always fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And right now, what we're seeing is there's not a fear of the Lord in the earth. With the exception of a few, the majority don't fear the Lord. And the way the Lord is going to get that fear is by his judgments, by his terror, by putting that fear in people. It says, let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. I read that. So it says, slay utterly, Ezekiel 9:6, old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. And the word mark here in the Hebrew is thawa, which is exempt from judgment, one that is exempted from judgment. So now what's happening is you have people that are being marked for judgment, to be judged, and some that are being marked to be exempt from judgment. Okay? It says, and begin in my sanctuary, then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. And as you keep on reading, it'll give you more information. But the point I wanted to hit is in these two verses. Okay? And lastly, this is the book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 1. It says, behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled. Okay? Let's look up the word rifled. See what it says there. Shasas. And it says to plunder, to spoil, right? To plunder. So breaking into houses and taking the goods, taking the valuables you can find. And when people hear valuables, they always think of inanimate things, gold, phones, electronics, food. In that time, it's really going to be like food and water and things like that. But people also consider spoils women, okay, as spoils and goods. Even when you go to war, they're considered a part of the spoils of war. So when the people start breaking into houses, and man, oh man, you better hope you're not a woman that lives by yourself in one of them big ass houses by yourself out there, because when these people come in there, to them it's gonna be like taking candy from a baby. So it says here, and the houses rifled, and what? The women ravished. And let's look up that word ravished. Okay. Let's see. And the women, I guess this would be the word for it. Ravished. To violate. Okay. To be ravished. To lie with. To copulate with. See that? In essence, to be taken by force. To be lain. To violate. So these men are going to violate a lot of these women. Okay. That's what happens. It says, and the women ravished, because if they don't have any defender, any defense, then whoever the attacker is going to grab them, take them, and do as he pleases. That's going to be a common thing in the times that we are in the times to come. As all hell starts breaking loose and the desperation goes higher and higher, and the food riots kick in, and the lights start going out, and things start getting bad, as they're already saying, that, pretty much crime is going through the roof. All right? It's written. You see it right there. The women are going to be ravished. So this is why you're going to need a man of the Lord, and this is why men of the Lord are going to need Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You're going to need the covering, okay, of the Lord. It says, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. All right. And pretty much that's it. That's what I wanted to go into. When I first saw this headline, I was like, that's very interesting. Thousands of sex crime suspects released unconditionally. That's very interesting. So what you're seeing, as we've said before, is a systematic design of the purge. Okay, a systematic design to create a purge-like scenario in real life. So people better be careful, man, because the Lord is about to bring some heavy judgment, and man, unless you of the elect, you will not be exempt. Anyway, with that, I hope you were edified. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Until next time, Shalom.